you.
Hello, welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies.
Thank you.
Ann and I have switched off now.
I am in quite the mood.
And I am gonna be playing the game from thenceforth on. And she will be observing.
I will be here complaining because I find this game extraordinarily boring. And I had
that's
to
okay.
try to not immediately succeed every time. And if you think I'm wrong, you should definitely tell me in the comments. And also share with us links to your playthrough. If you think you're so good, then you show me how much better you can do. No, I had a problem with this game partly because we are recording. I'm not entirely sure how much fun it is to watch this game with this fog, especially because it covers half of the board, and that's where most of the action happens. So I was just kind of getting bored with it, to be honest. Though, in fairness, I was bored with it, like, immediately. I still think it's a super cute game, and it really does come down to the recording. I would enjoy playing this casually, but with the necessities that come with trying to make interesting content, I'm still not quite sold on the game, I guess. But I also think that the age at which I'm playing it makes a difference, because I was anticipating Peggle being a lot more challenging than it was. And it was very fun, but it really wasn't challenging. And for me, I am not a teenager. I'll put it that much. I'll put it that way. I don't know. I think that we are just now starting to get to levels where it's actually challenging. And had I played this the whole way through before starting to record, I do think that would have made some difference. I think I would have been anticipating a lot more work than there is. But it is meant to be kind of I won't even call it, it's not an idle game, it's just kind of a time-wasting game. This was at the height of the whole, oh, kids are playing this at school and people are playing this during work kind of thing. You know, now you get in trouble for doing that. For some reason. No, but seriously, like, I mean, if your boss does not give you enough to do, why should you feel bad? Like, they're paying you to just be present, and they should be grateful for that, frankly. It's like, because don't you work super hard when there's actually stuff to do? And if there's nothing to do, what else are you supposed to do? Refold shirts 18,000 times? You know, like, honestly, some jobs are more demanding than others.
Pretend to clean. That was the big thing I had to do when I worked at McDonald's.
That was it for me as well. Even, I mean, I didn't even work fast food, but just in general. I don't know. I think there's this huge gap between people whose jobs were actually hard. Maybe because they didn't have the training or education or experience that new workers do, but the reason we're being replaced with robots is because the jobs that our parents and our grandparents did are really easy. It just is. I mean...
What?
What's that?
Puzzle mode. I unlocked a mini game. That's super neat.
You love those. So those shoot both ways, right?
They do.
That's cool.
And I don't know... I know I'll see them kind of digging down the line.
So maybe those would be good in the front, where the dolphin guys or the
very true
pole vaulters.
Well, they'll definitely be useful right here.
What is that? It looks like a baby.
This guy is gonna dig to the back.
Ew, that's creepy. He looks like a baby crawling.
And it even does extra.
Oh,
so he is gonna eat one of those, though.
Okay, so he is now gonna work his way for. Oh,
yeah.
I see. That's very interesting. That was really creepy, though. I don't like that at all. That was gross.
Neither do I.
Looked like a baby.
Forgot that the back is a repeater, so you get a bonus as long as you're only worried about that back section, and it's not much more expensive.
Huh. Well, that's creepy. I'm not looking forward to seeing more of those. Reminds me of babies. Babies are gross.
Babies are gross.
No, babies. I mean, they're fine, I guess, if that's what you're into, but ugh.
They're gross.
They're weird. I don't know. I don't know.
Babies, it's like their eyes are the same size their whole life.
Specifically, just kind of weird me out. I love animals of all kinds, and that does include humans, but I don't know. I mean, compare an infant chicken little tiny fluffy baby chick that cheeps and is able to forage for food and stuff to a baby human. It takes them like 18 years, right, to be able to forage for food. So.
Uh-oh.
Ew, he's gross. It seriously looks like a little baby in a diaper just scooching along on the floor. Ew.
Did the lantern get knocked out?
It only covers a certain amount.
Maybe I accidentally dug it up. It just suddenly went away. So, I think the lesson I've learned is I can't put this back row.
So maybe put, yeah.
You're the sacrificial lamb there. And then I just need another thingy. There we go.
You're almost done though, so.
Yeah.
No worries.
And he's made it decently along.
That is true.
But not enough for me to really be worried. Oh my goodness. I don't remember much past the daytime pool stage.
That's a great quote from A Mighty Wind with Eugene Levy.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember much. They're referring to presumably the
Shoots
70s.
in 5 directions.
Well,
I'm taking that instead of the split pea.
I guess, yeah.
I think I'm gonna take the squash. I'm gonna take the sun shrooms and my jellies.
Take that spike strip and or one of the potato mines maybe, or just put up like a bunch of walnuts. I mean, honestly.
Definitely walnuts. I didn't end up using the repeaters, but now that I've got the star fruit,
you immediately spent money on the like bipeders or whatever, the bottom row guys.
The split peas.
Yeah.
Well, I got the star fruit now, which
soup.
shoots in 5 directions, so it can hit stuff that is further back, and it costs the same amount.
That's true.
So I think I'm gonna do that, and then
maybe get a little. I don't know. I think I'm
gonna go with the lantern again.
Yeah,
that was pretty nice.
You can throw those up pretty quick.
See if there's anything I can get at the shop. Nope. Oh, the Gatling peas are so funny.
So funny.
Plant these on lily pads. Cattails can attack any lane and take down balloon zombies. Wow. Well, I will eventually get something like that. I think I'm just gonna have at it.
Alright. Well,
I'm gonna leave that row open.
Good call. Better throw those mushrooms up.
Oh. And the fog kind of comes in quite a bit deeper.
Like I said, I really don't think it makes for great watching. I mean, you can't see anything that's happening, so we'll try to get one of those lanterns up maybe as soon as possible, but they're pretty slow going.
Raked.
Alright. Throw some walnuts.
I can't even see.
I know, it's not my favorite thing. It does make it tricky though, for sure. I mean, that's...
Like, this goes pretty far
yeah,
back.
That's
it's almost like I need a lantern almost right away.
You do need a lantern right away, so you should have done that instead of having one of those, probably.
That's a little bit better.
I would put lanterns, and I mean, I guess they do get destroyed.
I should put those guys a little further forward next time.
It's hard to tell, though. I mean, there's no... I honestly don't know. Because the board, there's a little bit of boundary, right? In the front, kind of like in the back, there's a little bit of pavement with the lawnmowers and such.
Yeah.
And I assume there's kind of a similar thing in the front, kind of a curb, almost.
Okay, that gives me... I wish I'd put those little jellies farther forward, but...
That's alright.
I think it'll...
Yeah, we're doing okay. I would definitely throw down those walnuts, though, as soon as you can.
Okay, I think I've got my row of 3 of those. So then...
Looking pretty good.
I don't know what's being ate.
That would be the walnut.
Oh, might have been that thing right there, actually.
Oh, that probably is more accurate, because he would still be eating the walnut.
I'm gonna start putting these down. I don't...
Great call.
Oh, that's
so
adorable.
they would do better on, like, the lily pad, probably?
And it looks like, yeah, they hit stuff that's a lot more spread around.
Interesting.
I've got these squashed just in case I end up needing it. I'm just kind of... I'm banking on these stars providing me with the coverage that I need. It's... I will say, this is my least favorite stage. The limitations are... The combined limitations are just... like... They're certainly stressful, but I don't find them fun. Oh.
Just puts me to sleep.
Listen to the music.
Like, snoozing. Yeah, it's so satisfying. That little kind of almost like a Velcro-y sound of the munching, and the repetitive, soothing music is very nice. Even the zombie noises are very soothing. And just because it's so slow and monotonous, it's just a very relaxing game for me. I love the sound of the stars hitting that bucket. It's a really satisfying noise.
I'm trying to make the star fruits work.
I think those would do best probably in the center.
Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't put those lanterns where I had. Okay, at least I got those two hitting.
I wish also that if you dug something up, you could simply replant it. I don't like that it goes away.
That actually would be nice, like...
Because that's
make it more like real gardens.
Yeah,
it takes a little while for it to regrow. Like
sometimes it also just takes immediately. I mean, I could see having, like, because the menu, when you select something, it does take a while. So I could see them, like, if you replant it, maybe it takes the same amount of time. You're just not saving up for money. You're just waiting until you can use it. Oh, that's much better. You can actually see now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put these stars all over the place.
Get those suns. Get
oh,
those
jeez.
Sorry. I'm not doing anything at all. I'll just let you know if they're suns.
Oh, boy.
There you go. Sun.
Sun?
There we go. That's looking good now.
Yeah, the center is right. Like, that... That doesn't
well, I do think having a whole spread, though, is really useful. You're just gonna get everything, so...
I love the... I know they're a little gimmicky because of the diggers, but...
Not to give too much stuff away, but when I was a kid, son, up left, the Muppets were still really big, and they had a cereal by, like, the Swedish chef, quote-unquote, did the cereal.
Yeah.
Something stars. Where's my phone? I'm gonna look it up. But the commercial, basically, it's not the stars that you see on the screen, the stars that you shoot. What was it called? Muppet cereal? I'm gonna Google this. But it was
I love this.
Crunchy stars.
Crunchy stars?
Crunchy stars. The commercial was incredible. So I assume it was something almost like, maybe like Kix or Honeycomb. And then it was just the most adorable little Cinnamoney.
Cinnamoney? Cinnamonemony?
Basically, yeah, that was cinnamony.
Oh.
But yeah, so I guess it was like a cinnamon-flavored breakfast cereal with crunchy stars. I'll see if I can find a commercial for it. But yeah, it was just the most incredible shape. And they have something, I think it's General Mills, it's called Sprinkle Spangles. I'm not sure if that's still something that's in production, but yeah, the crunchy stars. There's also a Gremlins cereal.
I have never... I've never watched Gremlins. I hear it's not very good.
That's so funny. No, it's a terrible show, but it's totally worth watching. I mean, we watch plenty of terrible stuff.
There's a Twitter account, and it's called, like, the School of Gremlins 2 Film Studies, and it's all like, oh my goodness, look at this guy.
Oh, little Pogo.
I think that's supposed to be George Fan. Just judging by the goatee.
Why does he look like one of the characters on Star Wars, then?
Which one?
The one that looks like him. I don't think he
Oh,
has
when
a
you
name.
said Star Wars, I thought about the superior Star Trek, #fight me. Star Trek.
Definitely recommend the Next Gen. I don't not recommend the others, but I didn't get into the others. But the Next Gen's really good. That's a family-friendly show. There are a couple episodes that you might, you know, your parents might walk in and say, "What are you watching?" But you know, it's got Patrick Stewart in it, so it's the worst that can happen. But yeah, so the 80s. The 80s was very much a time. That's when America was doing really well. So for Americans, even with a little bit of money to blow on extra stuff, lots of commercial stuff. Pop-Tarts were a thing. They started having a ton of flavors. There was a breakfast cereal for pretty much every show. There's Gremlins, there's Mr. T, there's Muppets, there was, what was the other one I just saw? I don't know, but just so many different things that you could do and buy all the toys. There was this thing called, what was that? Something Keepers. They were like little, you could get like a snail, and it has a little key, and you can like unlock it. And it was like Secret Keepers or something. But I just liked it because I love little compartments and keys. And then these things called like pushies or something. And they were basically, it was almost like a Beanie Baby. And you would, it came, so like if there was a dog, let's say, it was like a little palm-sized dog, squishy, stuffed animal, plushy thing. And then there was a hard plastic, I don't know if it was a dog house or whatever, and you'd like stuff them into whatever the thing was it came with, and they just were so cute. And I never had one. What were those the little keepers? They were cute though, because basically what it was was
Trapper
little...
Keepers?
No, Trapper Keepers was like a binder. So the little like Jeepers Creepers or something.
I don't
basically
know.
It was just a little safe, basically. It was a little toy box, and it had a little key, so you could just open up, put little notes or little keepsakes, you know, and they were just so cute. But yeah, there was like a snail, there's probably a cat. Oh, they're apparently just called, oh, they're keepers, but it's like key as in a key, so Keyper. So cute. There's one for 99 cents on
If you ever want to start a business, just find a word that hasn't been misspelled by a company yet.
Good luck, by the way, because America, I'm sure it's true in every country,
but the U.S. is really good at misspelling
words. Oh my gosh,
words.
it's so cute and satisfying. Like, I'm just watching this commercial. Maybe I'll do a little video where I just talk about all these vintage, I'll just curate these vintage
Well, we'll definitely put a link
So,
to it. Oh, there's Mr. Pogo.
When my family was military.
What?
So
he just
jumps over everything.
Well,
that's all right. He'll get mowed down. So my family lived overseas, and to keep all of us sane, my parents used to record things off of TV. That was just a thing you did in the 80s. I don't know. Maybe that died out
before it was outlawed.
I mean, it was always technically illegal, for sure. I'm not saying that you should do this or anything. Just that was the culture that everybody. You would record stuff off of TV or the radio, or you would rent a movie and you would record it. We had multiple VCRs. And, anyway, so we had a couple of movies. The number one, actually there were two main movies that were such a big deal because we recorded them off of TV. So Back to the Future, so that was a big deal. That was one of the first movies that I remember watching, and The Wizard of Oz.
I didn't watch that till like last year.
Back to the Future?
Back to the Future, yeah. It took me a long time before I finally saw that one.
Those are great movies. I showed those to my niece and nephew as soon as possible. They absolutely loved it. It just totally blew their minds. But yeah, so anyway, it wasn't even, the point isn't even the movies, the point was the commercials. because they would just show, you know, Saturday night.
Oh,
They would,
got the pogo guy,
nice.
thankfully.
Saturday night they would show on like ABC or whatever. They would show these movies, and so my parents would just, you know, hit record, and we'd record stuff. But we had all of the commercials that came with it, and so I am like just an absolute master of 80s jingles. I could sing the like Double Mint or Juicy Fruit Twix, Oldsmobile. I know a bunch of those jingles from the 80s. But yeah, so these little keepers were so cute, and I used to watch commercials. I never had one, and I did meet someone once. Great job, babe!
I think that guy just grabs coins. Oh, and buckets. He takes buckets and helmets. Helmets and other metal objects from zombies.
That's cool.
So he might take the pogo away. Oh.
We sound like some kind of... Oh, that's another great commercial. There was a Teddy Ruxpin commercial. Teddy Ruxpin was a TV show, but they made a little, like, animatronic plushie thing. And he had a little tape cassette player in his belly. And it was like this promo ad with like M&Ms. There was all sorts. Like, it was just insane, the marketing that went on. I'm like I'm not even paying attention to this game because I'm just reminiscing on all the cool stuff that I got to watch but never play with in the 80s. So that'll be a nice anniversary challenge for Conrad. He could start collecting all of these old 80s toys that I never had, and I could get him like Pokemon and stuff. Like, like, what was it that you... Was there ever a toy that was advertised when you were a kid that you never got to have, that you still secretly kind of want?
That's a good question. I haven't been... Like, there are certainly games that I never got to play, but there's nothing that really, like, jumps out at me as...
And that,
like, in the moment.
I think that's just the difference.
I need to put some thought into it.
Not that you had some, like, crazy, you know, Conrad's... We're both from kind of larger families, but Conrad's family was, I guess I could say that they were better off. That's not to imply that they were like rich or anything.
But that's like,
you know, he had a comfortable amount of stuff.
Assessment.
Like we didn't. I don't know. I mean, you know, not even to like complain about my childhood or anything, but like there were a lot of things that that I wanted that I never had, that weren't, you know, it wasn't like super expensive stuff even. It's not like I was asking for, you know, even game consoles or anything like that. You know, we're talking like a $10 toy that we couldn't afford. I did though, I basically, I had jobs, even just odd jobs, ever since I was a little kid. And I remember, what were they called? It was another toy from the 90s, but you'd get this little plushie and they would have babies. So you'd have, like, mini baby plushies inside them. I don't remember what they were called. They were so cute. And it was hilarious because you'd pay the same price. So let's say you buy one and there are 2 babies inside. Well, you could also buy one that had, like, up to 5 babies inside. So it's almost like a gamble that you would be spending the same amount of money on this toy, but you could potentially be getting upwards of...
Learning to gamble from a young age.
Yeah, 2 to 3 additional little mini toys.
That's crazy that sort of thing happens at all.
And it was like... so popular, and you just... I loved them. I still want... I want those back. I had one. I think I had a cat, and was lucky enough to get, like, a bunch of little mini babies or whatever. And then there was, like, Quints. So it was like almost like a Polly Pocket kind of thing, and you just had, it was just a little play set of little babies, and little baby, and you just take care of it. I don't know. And then Tamagotchis came out, and of course all the schools banned them, and of course no student ever left their Tamagotchi at home. Are you serious? They would die. So everybody had the little Tamagotchi keychain.
That was the cell phone ban before cell phones were a thing.
I had a little angel Tamagotchi, and I had saved up for that, and I really enjoyed it. And I still do kind of have a soft spot for those kinds of, that's like a proper idle game. I just remember loving it because they'd make little poopies, and the poopies looked like Hershey's Kisses. And poops, oddly enough, one of the first little sketches that I did as a kid, the thing that I was the best at drawing were little Hershey's Kiss poops. Big surprise, right, that I like toilet humor, but... Yeah, this game just makes me think of all of the franchise and marketability that it has, that you could have little mushroom things, and maybe they're squishy and you squeeze them and they like shoot out little, you know, silly string or something. I don't know.
Okay, hopefully
I don't
destroy
know.
this
I
before.
almost feel like you should have just waited and gone with like a walnut.
Yeah, I do need to
Walnuts
get them placed. Just cause like not being able to see is the
that's the
big
biggest thing.
killer.
Well, save up then and just immediately get another one of those thingers, the little windy things.
I am gonna wait until I can see maybe a balloon.
I didn't realize you could plant the sunflowers, so I kept going with a little mushroom.
Is that magnet not gonna? They have to be close enough.
Oh no.
That really stinks.
Well,
But that's okay, 'cause he's, yeah.
Yeah. You're getting there though.
We'll have to build another one further forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Gremlins. So the Gremlins, I remember hating that movie as a kid.
There we go.
And it was like, I semi-enjoyed watching it, but not liking it. So I'm not sure if that's because the movie itself is just kind of terrible, or if it's because I didn't do well with, if the main character didn't succeed. I don't like the... Oh no, what's happening?
I'm okay.
I don't like the intentionally antagonistic thing that happened in the 80s, where you'd have just an insufferable character.
Yeah,
and they are just there to... It just... That's not fun
people
for me,
that are mean,
you know?
and not... They're not likable.
Yeah, I will
and you're
just tell
supposed
someone,
to...
if they're going to be just a horrible antagonist, I will just tell them to go away. I will tell them to stop, and that's it. I'm not going to waste my time allowing someone to make everyone miserable. That's not how I am. And of course, I got in trouble a lot as a kid because, you know, adults, aren't they trying their hardest? You know, they do their best, but ultimately, I was never the quiet kid, and I'm only realizing this now.
Oh, okay, come
Last
on.
little bit. You got it. It's okay.
There we go.
So he'll get... Oh, okay, you got it. I was gonna say, he'll get mowed over. You're getting pretty close to being done, so...
Yeah, it costs a
We'll
lot
throw more
to
of
use the
The
Blovers.
shrooms. You can throw the purple shroom down. Yeah, I don't care for the Blovers. I think they're okay, but the fact that they just go away immediately seems kind of silly. Like...
Yeah,
They should just have a charge-up time when they're placed.
I really was hoping that was going to be the case, too.
Because that would make sense, that they would blow stuff away, and then they would have a kind of slow charge-up.
Slow.
Exactly.
He doesn't reach.
No,
That annoys me so
no
much.
No Blovers and no magnets. I'm
yeah,
thinking.
the magnet is...
May as well just do the lanterns because they're so much cheaper and you can just throw them down really quick.
Well, and if the cactus for the spikes are really nice to use. I mean, I've got enough extra sun that I'm just blowing stuff away for its own sake.
Yeah, may as well.
Making sure that I've got...
So I think that's one of my complaints. Really, the only complaint I have with this game is kind of the pacing. It's very slow before it starts to get challenging, and it's very slow each level. You know, you should be able to make enough money that it can be more of an insane aquarium thing, that the zombies can come at you in these huge waves,
and they
you
can
just
eat
quickly
very large
replace
groups,
things.
but
Yeah.
you don't... Yeah, that makes sense.
I find it just a little bit on the slow side, and that's really the one criticism that I have for this game, because it is still fun. It's fun to play as kind of just a time-wasty game if you're waiting for an interview or something. Or I guess most of the people listening are probably children, but, you know, if you're waiting for something, it's a pretty okay game to play. I know my nephew is really a big fan of it. But yeah, I find it just a little bit... The pacing, it's just not quite to my taste. But maybe that just means that I'm a better game player than I realize. games. Like, I guess I just anticipated this being a lot harder, and a lot of games being harder, because I don't have a background of playing video games. The video games I played were, like, Math Blast, you know, educational games.
Boo,
what was the, like,
learning.
Mavis Beacon?
Mevis Bacon?
Mavis Bacon, yeah. Learning is wonderful. See, you just learned how to win a game. Great jail.
I had to win the game.
You did have
This
to
is your
win.
mother. Please come over to my house for meatloaf. Leave your front door open and your lawn unguarded. Sincerely, Mom, not the zombies.
Oh my gosh, that's
Well,
so funny.
we're gonna
Cute.
have dinner with Mom next time.
Mom / not the zombies.
Mom, open
Parentheses.
parentheses.
Save the troops. Support the troops.
Support the
Sorry.
troops.
No offense intended.
So, yeah, we'll get back to it next time. Thanks for watching.